Hello, this is Bullet, aka the Passive Aggressive Sherpa. In today's video, I'm talking about are Gleaming Boons of the Vanguard worth the price? From day one, I have found both the Crucible Boons and the Vanguard Boons available from Tess Everest to be mostly worthless. Mostly. And yet, lately I have been using them when playing with friends. It's only this past week that I've started using them again. They're kind of addicting for some reason. You're almost always going to get crappy shaders. Most of the time you get a gift of 3 shaders. You spend 250 of your hard-earned bright dust, and in return you get 3 shitty shaders that you're more than likely just going to delete anyways and get about 34 in bright dust back. Kind of a ripoff. I decided to put them to the test. Bought 5 Gleaming Boons of the Vanguard from Tess last night, then jumped into the Heroic Strikes playlist. I was not let down by the results. Up first was the Pyramidion, one of my most favorite strikes, and with Heavy doing more damage, last night we were melting bosses pretty quick. Granted, I was running these strikes with randoms, but we were nailing it. There were a couple of boss fights that lasted only seconds. Oh, how I love it when this mod is on. Now I'll skip here to the end in just a moment and I'll show the ending of the first 5 strikes. See what we get. Alright, first package here is a legendary ship that I've already had and deleted. But let's go and take a closer look. Came with a rare transmat effect. Okay, nothing special. Moving on. Now this is the Inverted Spire boss fight. Another boss fight went really fast. It wasn't the fastest boss fight I've ever had, but I mean it took us till the last room to kill him. But a lot of that was my fault. I was using the Wardcliff coil, and I had some ammo, but I didn't use it up here. We probably could have finished him if I jumped down there, but it's just such a habit to land on that ledge that I just wasn't thinking. But we get him down here, take him out. Couple of Wardcliff coil hits, done. And the reward. Oh, gift of shaders. Okay, moving on to Savathun's song. This was sort of a frustrating strike because they kept dying throughout the strike, and I kept dying trying to revive them. And then it started throwing my game off, and then I died once or twice during the boss fight. Very frustrating. But again, with Heavy doing the most damage, boss fights didn't last too long. Okay, maybe I lied. This one lasted too long. Let's just go ahead and skip ahead to the end. Alright, boom. He's dead. And what do I get? It's a legendary sparrow. But it's a 150 legendary sparrow. I have to wonder why. Why even have a 150 or a 160 or even an exotic when they all pretty much are available or do the same thing? I just think that just infuriates me. A 160 should go faster than a 150, and a exotic should probably go faster than a 160. It just makes no sense. It's like, here's this thing to make you feel special that really doesn't do anything special. This boss fight, it ended before it started. I'm sitting here clearing out these ads, getting ready to turn around and shoot at the boss, and he's dead. It was the fastest takedown, and these guys were driving me nuts the entire time, and then they get to the boss fight, and boom, dead. But again, shaders. And this is the final strike, the 5th strike. And let's see what we get here. This fight takes a while to get him out of all these, standing on all these plates. So let's just skip a few seconds ahead to the end. Alright, there we go. We have dispatched the boss. Oh, and it's a gift of shaders from Everse. Alright, so that's 5 strikes. Let's break it down. I got 1 ship, 1 sparrow, and 3 gift of shaders. This, based on my experience, was a decent haul. When I go to do my heroic strikes every week for milestones, occasionally I will buy 3 Gleaming Boons of the Vanguard. It's not unlikely that I will end up getting 3 gifts of shaders for that 750 bright dust investment. Now I understand if I were to buy each one of these things individually, it would have cost me more than 1250 in bright dust easily. Don't look at it like that. Everything I got is something I would have got or have already gotten from just ranking up and cashing in the bright engrams or whatever they're calling them now in Season 3. Can get exotic things from these boons. That's great. It rarely happens. In fact, you know what? I'm going to halt production of this video. I'm going to go back into the game, visit Tess, buy 5 more Gleaming Boons, see if I can get an exotic to drop. Special note, I have not played since last night when I was making the videos that you just saw, or running those strikes. Once I was done with those strikes, I went to the tower, and I went back to orbit, and then got on the computer and started editing this video and writing what little there is of the script. I say this because I don't think it would be fair to have been playing and running strikes, letting my XP build up, and then jump back into this, because that could have affected the drop rate, or that could affect the drop rate. So let's head back to the tower, pick up 5 more boons, and jump back into the strikes playlist and see what we get. Alright, it's now Tuesday morning, and what you're looking at is the footage I shot moments after I said what I just said about heading to the tower. I didn't have time to finish this video yesterday, and now we're 10 minutes away from the weekly reset. Actually 2 minutes away, because I wrote what I'm saying first. Anyways, I hope to get this video finished and uploaded shortly after the weekly reset video goes live. And on a side note, here I'm working on two other videos that I hope to have out later this week, but other videos may take the forefront. You never know what's going to happen. I just wanted it noted that I'm truly working to bring you all new content. It's just that, as I have said many times, I don't get paid for any of this. Maybe someday, but that ain't today. In the meantime, I have to build websites for people, and sometimes those websites take me forever to get done. Okay, moving on to the strikes. I want to say that when I went into this video, my opinion of the Gleaming Boons of the Vanguard, I felt were mostly a waste of time, or a waste of your bright dust, mostly. I think my opinion has changed since yesterday. And as we look at what I got from these 5 Gleaming Boons yesterday, I'm going to try to explain why I think maybe they're not such a horrible idea after all. And as you see each thing drop, not a big difference between today and yesterday. Something happened outside of what you're going to see that maybe changed my mind a little bit. After picking up those Gleaming Boons, I ran 5 more heroic strikes yesterday like I said I would. And I got pretty much the same as I thought I would. The same as I did the day before. However, as I was so arrogantly thinking to myself how I'd just proven my point about how pretty worthless these things are, the Xbox app on my cell phone opens up, and there's a message. It's from one of the randoms from one of the strikes I was just in, telling me good game. I'm always weary when someone does that, because I know there's like 13-year-olds out there that just think it's so cool to tell someone that just sucked, good game. But seeing as in most of the strikes I just ran, I was doing pretty good most of the time, and I was the one doing all the reviving. So I felt whatever their comment was, I felt it was sincere. And I responded with the customary, you too, and I let it go. Well, I didn't see that they had texted me back. That text said that I got an exotic sparrow to drop from that strike we were just in. Now, I don't know if that dropped because of my Gleaming Boon, or because maybe that person had loaded one before the strike and I didn't see it. It reminded me of something important. I'm not the only one that gets things when I load the Gleaming Boon. The other two people in the strike also get something. Well, even though all the members of the fire team could end up some useless shaders, it's probably more than likely that somebody else will receive something more worthwhile and significant value. So, in conclusion, I don't think these are great if your only reason for loading one up or purchasing one is because you're hoping to get an exotic or something otherwise worthwhile. Probably going to be disappointed, and you're more than likely going to end up with a crappy ghost, sparrow ship, or worse, shaders. You're going to burn through your bright dust pretty quick, and you're throwing it away. But if you're buying these because you feel generous and you hope whoever the randoms are you're playing with get something good, if you don't, or you're going to plan on playing with friends, then you know what? These are probably worth it. Because even though I didn't get anything worthwhile yesterday, the fact that whoever this guy was that was on my fire team, this random, was able to get an exotic sparrow out of it, something he didn't have, you know what? That makes me feel better about purchasing these. So I'm okay with it. But you have to be using them for the right reason, because it's a lot like gambling. You're spending way too much money for way too much bright dust for way too little of a return. You know, you can play a slot machine and you're probably going to waste as much money as you put into it, probably not going to get much back from it. It is possible that you win big. That's kind of what these do. Makes these a little more worth it though, is that it's not just you. You're paying for everyone to take a spin at the wheel. And that if that's what you want to do, and I think that makes them a little more worth the price of the bright dust. Anyways, that's my thought on it. As usual, buyer beware. Stuff, it can be addicting. So just be cautious. Anyways, if you like this video, hit that like button and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And if we could get 1,187 likes on this video, it'd be great. But most of all, thanks for watching. And let me know what you think about these Gleaming Boons of the Vanguard.